You know, we've screened this film sometimes where people didn't know what sort of film they were watching. The next film next door was full, so they came to this one. And sometimes those people were somebody whose mother died of LS, or, you know, had a sister who had multiple sclerosis, or simply who was caring for an elderly parent. And they would be so unexpectedly moved, and they'd come to you and tell you their story. This is a film about a struggling Australian farmer, his incurably quadriplegic wife, and it's about a year in their life when they have a baby and they open a brothel in a small country town. So we felt that they had a right to look at the material and think about what was in it. And yeah, they all realized that they were saying things to the camera, which they weren't saying to each other. And what did this mean? And for each of them, there's this sort of moment of confrontation. It took us a long time to communicate with Rachel, but it was such a learning curve, because first of all, we were like, how do we talk to her? Like, we know theoretically she can hear us, but how do you know when she can't speak back, she can't talk back? When she does respond, she produces this sound, there's this moaning, and so she can laugh and she can cry. And how, in that spectrum, how do you decipher that as what she's really saying? But after a while, you started to get a sense of what she was feeling. And then you worked your way towards what she was actually thinking. But the big stepping stone for us was to realize that the difficulty in communicating was not Rachel, it was us. And I wanted to help the audience also into that, being able to hear her, feel her, understand her, past that business of feeling really confronted and scared and anxious and politically correct, you know, and get past to where you can just feel it. Like Rachel's mother had said in the film, in front of Rachel, that there were times when she'd wished her daughter had died. Now, she had never said that in front of Rachel. She wouldn't have said that maybe if it hadn't been for the camera. And it's a terrible thing for a mother to admit. And yet it's a very real feeling. I mean, there are many other people who've come to me and said they feel that. And Sandra came to me and she said, you know, I realize that must really upset Rachel, but that's how I feel. It's the truth. Most of these people whom we met who come up to us like that, who come up to me and say, you know, this happened to me, or this is in my life, or my husband is dying, and it's hard to care for him. Sometimes I feel angry with him. You know, and you find, and then you think, but that's what stories are for. They're so that we can all tell our own stories. Yeah, they have the courage to embrace their own truth, even when it's difficult. So it's okay, I can put it out there. And it allows other people to embrace those difficult truths.